Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original. What this is straight no chases for us. I'm making this video today because of my hometown. I've come home for the past couple of weeks, and as I came home these past few weeks, there has been nothing but bad news. Gun violence on top of gun violence. And those that are affected by the gun violence is the usual. Us. Grand Rising. Grand Rising, Kathy. Angela, aka Queen G. Grand Rising, LaVar P. Haven't heard from you in so long. Glad to see you. I'm in my hometown. In the past, and excuse me, I've been a little bit sick, but I had to do this video. The past few weeks I've been coming home. The other week there was what is the annual Peanut Festival. After the Peanut Festival, they have a parade. And this is where all families, Black, white, Chinese, whoever, everybody comes out and everybody just celebrates the pageants. Everybody's together. And during that time, thank you. During that time last week, a young man was shot and killed. And my understanding, he was only breaking up a fight. I don't know the young man personally, but I knew his mom. His mom is a twin. And let us all, send positive energy and healing energy to these Black families who are losing their young children at age 20 and younger. And between their ages of 20 and younger. Maybe, I think he might have been a little bit over 20. But it's a shame that our young men, our Black kings, cannot live past the age of 30. And he was doing what we say do. Stand up. Protect. He was, if I'm not mistaken, this twin, he was working at this restaurant that everybody goes to. And the last time I laid eyes on him and his mom helped fix my plate. And when I seen that he was the one that died that day, after I had just got my plate from them the other day, God, that it shocked me. Then today, I wake up in Dothan, Alabama, two young ladies, the ages of 20 and 19, I think, or age 20 and 18, were found shot in a house. Then, as the story goes on, they were actually at a gathering last night or something, and an altercation happened. Someone called the police, but when the police got there, they were there. So I guess everybody was talking, and my thing is they left them there, but they found two young ladies shot to death. And guess who did it? A 14-year-old young Black man with a gun. And this is normal for us. Want to know why? They acting shocked. How can we be shocked? How can we be shocked with all the murders? All we do is tell ourselves in rap songs to kill and shoot each other. That's all they do. I've seen people wanting to blame him and saying it's time to go after the parents. No, the hell is not. No, the hell is not. It's time to go after the NRA. It's time to go after gun manufacturers. It's enough with these people who rule the government dumping their trash in our neighborhoods, and we take the blame. How the hell does a 14-year-old pose with a semi-automatic rifle or gun or whatever it is? It looks like it's something that nobody should have unless you're at damn war. How he get it? We take on the role without questioning any of it. How the hell did these guns get in our community? Well, you can go ask Maxine Waters when she first was talking about it, because the government dumped them in our communities. We can go blame the police that gets them out of the evidence and puts them back on the streets for the people to sell. We are the only underclass designated. Go read Dr. Claude Anderson. I keep telling people it's time to educate ourselves. We are the only ones that are left behind, and the only way to get money is to scramble up. We've sold the drugs, we shoot each other, we kill each other over trinkets. Now we have a family, rest in peace to these young ladies that now are getting ready to plan a funeral. One of them had a young child, and everybody is wondering what happened. What happened is your music. Did I not do a video a couple of just a few days ago saying you allowed the enemy in your house and in your community? We'll say anything long as they give us money. We run our kids up and down the football field, baseball field, long as they can get that white dollar. We okay it when we know that half of our people out here hustling and carrying drugs. They hang around each other carrying guns. I'm sorry, I meant to say guns, because I've been around where everybody in the hood come around and everybody got a gun on their waist like it's the motherfucking OK Corral. And then you wonder how people get shot. How the hell are y'all getting them guns when you ain't got not one black gun manufacturer? But most of the guns seem like they piled up in the hood. You don't own not one pharmaceutical place, but you got all the drugs in the hood. Y'all don't own not one darn airport, but we got all the cocaine and the drugs in our place. It's time to wake the F up. I'm just sorry. It is time to stop blaming each other. Look at it for what it is. We got liquor stores all in the black community. We got nothing but music that say, go kill a bitch, run down on the op. You have made yourself the op. This has been behavior since slavery, when they used to get us drunk and fight each other for the white people's entertainment, just so that we can get a crumb. That's when we became desensitized, when we looked at each other as in, it's me against you, so that we can live this life, instead of all of us gathered together, as Oprah said, and whop master upside his head. But y'all scared to fight back, but y'all don't mind killing each other. We wonder when the FCC, they control everything. You see how they did Kyrie Irving and all that, saying anti-Semitic, but yet we can say nigga, bitch all day long in a rap. Kill a nigga, kill a nigga, kill a nigga. What do you think this 14-year-old is thinking? What do he have? Then they saying blame his parents. The parents, we can't do nothing. Whoop your child and you go to jail. Make it make, as Queen Amadeus say, make it make sense. I used to say it, but make it make sense. You can't whoop or discipline your child. Y'all don't know what y'all want. Society tell y'all everything to do, and nobody is following God. And God is in you. I ain't talking about no book, and I ain't talking about no church. I'm talking about your common sense. Common sense would be your government allowed you to hear stuff on the radio riding down the block with your child. There is no division. There is no line. It used to be where it was adult entertainment and children's entertainment. That is no more. A child can hear run down on a nigga, pop a bitch, ops, twerk. Look at who's programming us. We're at work and you're blaming the parents, when your government, who's your parent, should be held accountable. They sent billions over to Ukraine to rebuild them, and y'all sit up here and argue with each other whether you need reparations or not. That money could be going to your communities to build programs where your teenager don't have to be sitting around waiting for his mom to come after work, or his dad to get off of work, or his dad is probably in jail because he done fell snare to the trap. I know, because I was a mother and I had to go to work and I had to leave my kids at home with babysitters or the oldest child. Let's use common sense. Do we want the truth? Do we really want solutions, or are we gonna keep playing this fucking game? Then y'all, just like I'm cursing now, yes, I am. This is why I always curse, because my curse words, y'all kids out here carrying damn guns, killing people, and you talking about don't curse. What is wrong with us? When are we going to put blame where blame is due? Let me look at some of these comments while I calm down. What Angie say? I agree that the government has planted guns and drugs in our communities and neighborhoods, and I don't know if the NRA should be main target over government funding for the effective mental health support. They should be giving back. Yes, they should be held accountable, because they should not be making so many guns. Why you need so many guns? They did this not to just our communities, but that's how you have all these so-called third world countries who have no manufacturers getting guns. The enemy is funding both sides of the war. And then let's go back to Alabama, Dothan, Alabama, where you got a governor who wore blackface, who canceled CRT, critical race theory. This is why critical race theory is needed, so that you can compare the differences. And she was just elected again. How can your black boys see themselves in anything else when they don't see themselves up at the top? All you see is white faces and sellouts that represent them. The only thing they see themselves as being the next thug, the next gangster, the next rapper, the next football player. Like Claude Anderson said, the only thing that we produce is sweat. Ain't nobody paying for sweat, they using us. The only thing we produce is sweat and tears and prayers. That's all we've been produced of. Sweat, tears, and prayers. It makes no sense. See, we went back to don't touch my child. Remember we was talking about this in my other live? Don't touch my child, don't whoop my child ass. Now see, if it was, we can't even do nothing with these teenagers now, because our government, our society has equipped teenagers with guns, so everybody is damn scared to do anything to these teenagers. There's nowhere for them to go. I'm in Dothan, Alabama. There is nowhere for these teenagers to go. And every teen don't want to hear your same old prayers. They need food, they need opportunities, they need to see themselves as being more than a rapper, a football player, or some type of person that sweats. The boy is 14 years old who committed these murders, and they got his face. The white people couldn't wait. They plastered his face all over. Even though there's other shootings, white people do a lot, but they will cover him up. That's how you know when it is. But now they want to make him the enemy and not the victim of a system. Everybody was a victim today. That 14-year-old boy has no mind. Why do we put children on the same level as us? Because we have been trained to do that. He doesn't have the mind of a 20-year-old. And the 20-year-old don't have the mind of a 30-year-old. The 30-year-old don't have the mind of a 40-year-old. What is it about getting old? Because you learn as you get old. Our kids don't have time to learn because they're dying as soon as they open their third eye. We've been tricked to tell each other that kids are grown at age 18. This boy, 4 years from now, he would have been 18. He already committed a double murder. How can we accept that? What can a parent do? I can tell my kids to read a book all day, but they're entertained on the video games and on the music and on the TV. Everybody, we're going to put parental controls. That should be up to the government. The government in the FCC, your presidents, your commissioners, your mayors, all of those people should be held responsible because they don't allow it in their communities. We are the only people who are paid to rap and sing our own destruction. Grand Rising, Brandon. I see you. Let me read some more comments. Brandon said, I never understood how we are supposed to let people kill and oppress us instead of getting up and kicking their ass. I still do agree with peace with the enemy. Angie said, you can't discipline your child, but they can kill them. What the F? Exactly. Yep, exactly, Brandon. Remember when that 32-year-old man committed a crime and the media classified him as a boy and not a man? Wow, that's right. Our kids at age 10 and up, you can look it up, was always considered men. Then they tricked us to tell us our kids are grown at 18. No, you're just becoming aware that you are a bigger person. You're just stepping in awareness. We used to have rituals where you had to deal with the men in the community. You had to do some type of ritual before you even accepted that you were a man or a woman. There was no you just be 18. When are we going to face the truth that it ain't no happy-go-lucky for us over here? Our kids are equipped with guns and drugs and the music and the movies that program them to use them guns and drugs. I look on TikTok, I look on Facebook, everywhere. I can't tell whether there's a young woman or an older woman. Well, you can tell older women, but everybody's showing ass, everybody's twerking, and that's not no problem. I don't have no problem with that. The problem is that they have boosted our kids to make them feel like they're grown. They don't need to listen to us, and they need to listen to the government. Our kids fear the police more than they fear their parents. And then we're left to sit up here and argue with each other about whose fault it is. Thank you all for coming in. Like, share, thumbs up. I'm using my city for an example. I've been home for the past couple of weeks, back and forth, Dothan, Alabama. And each week that I've been home, there's been a murder after murder, and they've all been under the age of 20. But today was some young women that was murdered. And that's what happens when you don't get control of the situation. They think putting this one young boy in jail is going to solve their problems. When we have to understand, how did this 14-year-old get this gun? Why is this 14-year-old was out late at night? How is this 14-year-old thinking? What made him think to use a gun? Who's telling our kids to pick up a gun and handle each other? How come the government puts billions of dollars in other countries to fix them, but no money goes to our communities? I can go back to my community that I left here 20 years ago, and the same streets are raggedy, the same buildings are there, the same oppression, the way oppression looks is still there. There is no changing. And then you want your kids to have hope? The same old churches is there. Grand Rising. Thank you, Brandon, for your donation. Read my last comment. I do not agree with making peace with our enemies. They are called our enemies for a reason. If we got to go to war, then so be it. They already declared war against us since the beginning. That's right, Brandon. But the problem is, our people don't know that we are at war. They think that they're at war with each other, the devil, and everybody else that is not at that everybody, all of us, but not the main characters. In Alabama, Governor Kay Ivey closed down schools, and then they do it. Oh, this is a magna school. Okay, if the kids wasn't functioning that good in regular schools, so you're gonna close down the schools and make it where, oh well, in order to get in this school, you gotta pass this test and you gotta do that. We are constantly jumping, trying to keep up with white society when we have not been given the opportunities or the chances that white kids have been given. I don't give a damn if they're in our same school. When they go home to communities that is not filled with liquor stores, Family Dollars, Dollar Generals. They got big yards, houses. Remember how we wanted to go over our friend's house? But when we go home to brick and mortar. We go home to the brick yards. That's what we call it, the bricks. We go home to the bricks. When I'm taking my grandkids home, well, before when I was taking my kids home, I could drive by 5 or 6 liquor stores, 10 churches, a community center in the hood. But what are they doing? What's going on in the community center? Basketball, football, the usual. They playing with your mind. And the same governor, instead of giving Medicaid, That's right. Get rid of KIV. Get rid of the whole system of people. We're going to have to stop depending on this system and step away. Get rid of them all. They're not, it makes no sense. She's using, look up Alabama, look up Governor Kay Ivey, type in blackface. You will see that this heifer, since she's been young, she's been wearing blackface. When you have people who don't care about your people, they're not going to put things in your community that is going to help your people in your community. Our communities are crying out for help. That's when our kids are shooting and killing each other. That is a cry for help. They don't know nothing else. All society has told them in every rap song is that they are thug, they are hoe, they are gangster. They can fuck the best, they can suck the best, that they gay. Look at what our music is telling. Then when they turn on the TV, even white people mimic it. Who wants to be a thug? What does when you look at think of a thug, tell me what picture comes to your mind. Do you see a white boy with a gun, or do you see a black boy? And if you do see those images, where did you get those images from? Where did those images come from? They came from the movies that the so-called Jews that own the music and movie industry writes. And then we sign up and we play those parts, and our kids sit back and look at it. There's no separation. Our kids have to get jobs at age 14 and 13 to help, or either help with the kids, because we don't have generational wealth passed down to us. Girl, I say girl like I'm talking to my girlfriend. Let me tell you something, followers, originals. I call y'all the originals. Originals. Y'all don't even know what I go to white communities because of my job, and I'm floored at the stuff that they got. I'm floored. And then when I come to our communities, it's like a cardboard box. It's like our communities is like a cardboard box sitting in the corner of America where the whites are eating good and throwing the trash in our boxes that we call home. And I say whites because the majority of people who own the money are white. The majority, look at your Supreme Court. Google every state that you in, Google your Supreme Court, go look at the images and tell me who the hell you see. And then you tell me it's not white people. Because those are the people who make the rules. And I don't give a damn how many token blacks that they throw in there to make it look like there's a rainbow or diversity in the system. We ain't wrote one law. We have not wrote one law. We are affected by the laws that, right? Because if we wrote laws, it would be against the law for white cops to come in our communities and beat on our children while we stand there, but yet we can't discipline our children, and then to turn around and when our children do something, well, where's the parents? Where's the parents? Are we serious right now? We got a problem. Y'all scared of these teenagers? Because I am. I don't know what to say to them. The moms of these teenagers, where my son, my daughter, don't fuck with them. I was never like that. If they came and my son and fighting, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to ask them who did what, whatever. I try to instill as much I could to them, but your parents can only put so much. That's only one or two voices. When the world is putting black parents' images as we don't do nothing, we're welfare and queens and drug pen kings. That's the images that black kids got about parents. The same images that you can go argue with a white person online. Their first thing they'll say, get off of welfare. Stop doing drugs, when they have more drugs in their communities. They're dying of opiates left and right, but you don't see the opiate queen. They raping people left and right, and they get out. Go look up Dothan, Alabama. I was looking it up. White man got off probation, even though he was raping people. See, it's the people that is controlling you as the parent. See, when you become a mayor, a governor, a commissioner, you're taking on a role as a parent of that community. And when you sit up here and say you need more police instead of educational programs, PTSD programs. How can we, each Black child needs a one-on-one. Black parents need to be programmed, because our generation is the one that erased music. Our music used to tell what happened in our communities, but we had solutions in our music. Now our music is so that we can entertain those who don't look like us, and they can dress up like us and wear their hair and this and that, and we don't get anything from it. But yet we are, in our communities, we are filled with name brand labels that we don't own. We filled with images of ourselves that is not true. Lack of education. It's been like this since 1950s, and I ain't talking about slavery. Our parents were just allowed to go to public schools in the 1950s, y'all. I was born in the 1970s. That was 20 years later. How can my parents teach me something that they weren't even taught yet? And at that time, we had each other. They did not like that. We were poor and still happy and didn't care. So they had to create chaos so that they can create jobs. That's how the police got their jobs. Kay Ivey put 800 million into building new prisons. Not a dime went to Black communities. And then she made it a law where you could not teach CRT. Her and many white governors and senators alike have done this. And y'all keep playing the voting game. It's going to take us all, Democrats, Republicans, Black, white, Mexican. If we want the world a better place, we need to go to the root of our problems, and that is our government officials, city officials. And we all say enough is enough, and nobody is voting for none of y'all corrupt fuckers. Why is there no money being poured out? Why do we have to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps when we didn't put ourselves in the ghetto? But they don't want to teach CRT. They don't want to teach real history. We know they lied about Christopher Columbus, and we still sitting around. I want to sue the school board. Why were we taught a lie? Why is there information in my head that wasn't needed? Why? Peace and blessings. Let me read some of your comments. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go to some of your comments. Darren Lewis 88 said, like I said before, they need to get rid of Kay Ivey. She wouldn't even grant clemency to Nathaniel Woods. That is correct. And he was innocent, and she still had him executed, if I'm not mistaken. Angie said, that's why I said I don't rock with that ranchy rap music, only encouraging the dismantling of our people. That's right. But the thing is not even that. There was nasty music before. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be no music that tells me to kill the person that looks like me. We can't say kill a cracker. Fuck a cracker. You cannot say kill the other people, or you'll be anti-Semitic. But yet they can pay us to say kill each other. Kill that nigga. I'm a show out. They even got little girls showing how they can ride a dick. That's what you call twerking. And we just go with it. Everybody making money off the Black community, and the Black community ain't doing nothing but killing and stabbing and robbing and disowning each other. Kathy said they have destroyed anything positive in our community. You are correct. And that was the plan. When they were mad that they lost the the Confederate War, whatever, they came in another way to destroy us. Our stolen history, they taught history in reverse. Correct. Peace and blessings, Pride Brittany, Queen. That's right, LeVar. It's a shock. See, the thing is, and this is me, it's going to be normal to have a killing, because we people, I'm talking about people, this is not black or white. In the world, there's going to be a killing. In the world, there's going to be rape. In the world, there's going to be robbery. In the world, there's going to be gays, as they say gays. In the world, there's going to be straight people. That's why we all are different. But there's a problem when the rest of the races get to extort that from us and make that our culture so that they can make white man's money. And when I say white man's money, because we the only one walking around with dollars in our pockets with the fucking faces of slave masters, and we call it money. And then you pray to God for your slave master to jump in your pocket. I understand it's not our fault, but we got to start putting value into something else, or this is going to continue to happen. I'm not shocked because I've been, like people like me that speak the truth is not liked because I'm not speaking the truth in the way that they want to. Then they had a demonstration called Cancel the Funeral. A couple of the so-called community leaders, the popular ones, we love popularity, put on this demonstration, and they had gangsters out there with fake gangsters, and they wanted to show how it was. They had people laying on the ground looking like they were shot, and they had other people standing over them with a gun. They wanted to show them how they're hurting, but all you're doing is showing them the images they see on TV every day. You didn't do anything. You woke up the next day, whoop, there go 2 more shots. Then you want to do it at the church. Your church has been in the community for 10 years and it ain't stopped not one murder. Not one murder. Kathy said we would kill over those dollars. Kathy, not just that, we will kill over those shoes. We'll kill over everything. We dress ourselves up to look like we're doing just as good as white people because we have made it where we have more pride than the truth. We can't say, I'm hungry, I'm hurting, without being picked on. That nigga hungry. You poor, your mama ain't comb your hair. Ha ha. It sounds so, I can't stand us sometimes. I can't stand us sometimes. It's like we so dumb it's like when I say dumb, it's because we don't want to pick up nothing. We don't want to learn nothing but the Bible. There's so many other books that would tell you, if you got caught up in understanding everything that was going on, you wouldn't have time to read the Bible because you'll be having time to try to fix something. You'll be fixing your finance. You'll be fixing your mind. You'll be fixing a lot of stuff. Kay Ivy was doing an interview and Nathan Woods' sister walked up on her. She should have knocked upside her head and did that time for a minute because that's the type of revolution we need. We scared of these people because they don't put fear in us. That's why they used to burn crosses in our yards. That's why when they lynched a man or a woman, they hung them in trees. My husband, grandmama would say it used to be nothing to walk through the woods and see black people hanging from trees. That was their normal. That's death. Death has been walking our communities. The problem is we ain't controlled the death. It should have been many of them pale motherfuckers hanging in the trees just like it was us, but we don't think that way because we always want to praise Jesus. We are convinced. That's right, Lamar. LeVar. We shame each other and call each other broke and try to convince others we live such a lavish lifestyle. And others are below us. That's because we're projecting what's being done to us on each other. That's called projecting. But back to what I was saying. A 14-year-old boy killed 2 young women, took them away, and I just wouldn't even know what to think. I got a niece that lives in this city. My niece was at the parade, walked away. When she texted me, I'm like, what? She went to the parade with her boyfriend. She a senior. Then she said, Auntie, they shoot. And I'm like, what? We panicking. Where you at? Where you at? And I'm waiting for her. She said they started. I'm waiting just to get a response back on the phone. This is the type of communities your government put us in. And then to convince me I need to move to a white community is stupid. Because in the white communities, you see what happened. Your profile, you're not wanted, you're harassed. How many black people don't board houses and they wake up, nigga leave, this and that? How long are we going to allow white supremacy to rule before we start knocking it back upside his head? Someone said Kevin Johnson is up for execution now. Well, it ain't nothing that we can do until Kevin Johnson family, Nathan Woods family, everybody families get mad and start blaming those who who rule us, those who are all our parents, and that is our government. Ain't nothing gonna change. We can't blame one. We keep making it look like it's individual incidents. It's individual bad black parents, and that's why our black kids are doing this. No, our black kids is looking at this damn music. They list every song, and then it got worse. Everybody that want to be a rapper, the first thing they want to talk about is how they can kill the next black person the best. How they can shoot them and make them bleed, how they can bust them in the head, how they can look at them and run down on them, how they can rob them and this and that. What y'all expect? What kind of results do you expect? While white kids are over there looking and saying the same thing, but that's them. They over there listening to the same music, but then they go home to their little Chinese, white, Jewish communities, and see, this is why you don't need to be like that. They go eat their little crumpets and their cucumber sandwiches, and they put braids in their hair, and they dance like us, and they pretend to be like us. The difference is that's our reality. They just play in it. We don't want no change because we ain't mad enough. We ain't tired enough. We ain't died enough. I guess I don't know what's going to happen to us, because until we get a wake up call within ourselves and understand prayer ain't going to work. All your churches in there, it be so many people like, oh, this person was a good person. She was a good person. He went to church all the time. His mama prayed. What is all y'all commitment to church? We ain't got you. And then somehow, if this happens, we'll convince each other we didn't do enough praying. We didn't give enough. But back to the enactment that they had in Dothan, Alabama. I just thought it was stupid. And I tell them, I'm the type in Dothan, Alabama, I've been told them. I remember I marched these streets. None of them came out. It was one lady came. It was Ruth. We brought the NAACP people. You know, it was the first rally march, because there's police officers that done killed our people down here too. It happens all over the world. It's just a lot of stuff is not reported. And none of these people showed up. Most of the community leaders went where the white people was at so that they can distract the community from what we wanted to tell them. I had my son and his friends perform a community song trying to give them some positive music. But them same black people, I'm gonna say Anita Dawkins, Tammy Potter, all them, they, Tammy Potter and her daughter, they were putting on something because she came and talked. But I remember the NAACP went over there because, see, Anita Dawkins or whatever at the time, she was friends with the mayor, and none of them supported it. None of them came to support the rally because it's no racism. See, racism is not about white people. White people rule you through the law. It was the white people who are gone are still ruling us because their laws that they put in place is what we're following. The schooling that they put in place is what we're following. The ghettos that they put in place is where we're living. The banks and stuff that they allowed to redline us and leave us out of loans and stuff is there. My husband, family, and them can tell you that they didn't even get loans back then because they were sold seeds that would not grow, fake seeds and stuff. These are the things that did to us. So when we're talking about white supremacy, I'm not fucking talking about white people. Because some of our black people is just as worse. So let's get it. With all you're getting, I remember my old pastor used to say this: with all you're getting, get an understanding. With all you're getting, get a damn understanding. Understand the system of white supremacy was put ahead when slavery came so that their generations of children would always be benefiting off of the backs of black labor, black sweat, black blood. But when you talk like this, because we are in these little country towns surrounded by white friends, and their communities are not being riddled like that, so we don't see it because my friends is white. Well, your friends is not dying. Your little Susie and Becky don't have to worry about this. You don't see no white people living in the projects, and nobody don't see nothing wrong with that. I'm in a town, this is a small town. There's 4 or 5 projects, and I don't see not maybe 1 or 2, you know, it's always 1 or 2 white girls that's with us. I don't see no white people. And you want me to say it's not about black and white. The system of white supremacy was put in place, and we have to dismantle that system. We cannot love that system away. We cannot praise that system away. We cannot pray that system away. It has to be dismantled by paperwork and people who are aware that it's in place. But long as you keep lying to yourself, we're always going to have the raggedy part of the world, which is the black ghettos, and the rich part of the world, which is the whites, and now the immigrants who were not here, which is the Jews, the Chinese, the Asians, all of them. Their communities don't even look like this. Ain't nobody dropped guns and drugs. And the things I'm telling you, you can look them up. You can look them up. How many times we the only people walk around? We got so many damn t-shirts with RIP on it. Come on. Is it like, how can we keep being ignorant? How can you? And then the same people crying will go home and have a party, and that party will consist of 20-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. Everybody listens to the same program and kill a bitch, fuck a bitch, kill them, shoot them. That's right, LeVar. We walking around where I can't breathe. If the police ain't killing us, then health is killing us. Most black women are dying in childbirth because the government chooses to ignore. They want us to be died. They want to wipe us out. Read Claude Anderson's book, Black Labor, White Wealth. Black Labor, White Wealth. He worked for the government. He's telling you he worked for the government for years on years. This one man been trying to, the people that be trying to tell you the truth, y'all ignore it. They don't get that many likes. I don't get a lot of likes and stuff because I'm not a sellout. He been trying to tell y'all that the government designated the black as the black underclass. You can't have capitalism without something to capitalize off of. And they got us, oh, I got a business, I'm gonna raise my prices too. When your people can't even support you. If we had our businesses in our hood and we had brung everything in our hood and we stopped trying to look like we the flyest and look like we the healthiest and look like we just happy because white supremacy ain't touching us, not over his, then you're gonna keep being that way. Darren, NWA ain't partly to blame. That's my problem. Just stop it. The NWA didn't pay nobody to put their music up there. They was tricked. That's why Ice Cube changed. Stop talking about old stuff. They changed. You ain't heard not in one NWA song. Nobody, NWA didn't put themselves up there. The people I'm talking about the Jews put them up there. They owned the record labels. They paid millions of dollars for our people to sing their demise for entertainment. Then you go around and say anything else to anybody else, you will go to jail. You don't see no country white song talking about, well, I got on my horse and went down and shot Billy Bob in the head. Kill that cracker, kill him. You don't hear no music like that. You don't hear Susie talking about, hey, I'm Susie and I pop my pussy. My pussy is the best. Think about what we're saying and what we're listening to. You are letting that energy, that spirit in your house. You're letting it in. When we keep turning on the radio station instead of turning it off, numbers will speak. If we all shut down radios and stop listening to the music, they won't have no choice but to give us what we want because they will go broke. They're going broke now. We can sing to ourselves like we used to be in our own little hole in the walls. We used to sing without microphone. We entertained each other. When they realized our talents, they got us to say the things they wanted to hear. They put their imaginations on us and we live it out for their entertainment. And we wonder how guns and drugs and all that got in our neighborhood. Like I said, we don't own not one airport. We're not smarter than the police, but yet we got all these guns and drugs. And in our neighborhoods. We don't own no damn gun manufacturer, but we got enough guns. Every one of your teenagers got a gun. We don't commit most of the crime. Statistics say white people commit most of the crimes, but the jails and the prisons are packed with 75% of black people. We commit the least crimes in the world. And when you talk about crimes as community wise, most crimes with people, you're going to have killings within that same community. But nationwide, white people kill others more. Black people, black on black crime is not a threat to nobody but black people. So stop letting them get statistics about black on black crime and national crime twisted. Black on black crime is what happens in our, but we don't talk about white on white crime and Jew on Jew crime. How about the other day, 17 Jewish rabbis just got arrested for human trafficking, body parts, babies, and all that. They fucking us in the dark. They made sure our music used to be a sign of messages. Come on, that's why you sing church music. Why do you listen to music? Why did you listen to church music? Because it tells you what to do. We listen to music because it tells us what to do. It used to tell us, get up, or I need the love. And our music spoke messages. They realized that during slavery, they were mad that we were able to trick them. Our music used to tell our people where to go, how to get out. When they learn us, they learn, oh, that's how you get to them. So they started programming us through our music the way they wanted us to be. Yep. They don't care nothing about us. The only people who's going to care about us is us. The only people who's going to fight for us is us. The only people who can do something about our situation is us. And it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. All it takes is just turning off the music. We got Cardi B running around representing the hardest rapper, and she's not even black. But she takes off her makeup and she goes to her Latino family and she takes all these black dollars that all these black people supporting her because she got a big butt. She looks light skinned. She looks like what society told y'all to praise. So y'all praise her. And she takes all her money to her community. She gives nothing back to you or anything else. And, you know, that's who we praise. Meg Thee Stallion. I don't have no problem with these people. And I like their music. I'm sorry, I do. To my own grown ass with me and my grown ass husband. My 14, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old should not be hearing it. They shouldn't even know what the fuck their body parts is doing right now. Except for if they, well, at 18, they should be prepared. We got laws in Texas that's allowing these grown men to marry young girls. And then let me tell you something about an image. Let me tell y'all something. How did the image go from liking women to when you want a little petite woman? Y'all been tricked by society because that's some pedophilia shit. It's like a woman should be little and tiny. Doesn't that represent a little girl? And then, I'm not knocking. Nobody can help what height or something is, but look at how we're programmed to like certain stuff. And who told us to like those things? Who told us to like that stuff? Nobody ain't saying we can't have strip clubs. Nobody ain't saying that we can't have, but it's certain stuff that should be separated. It used to be grown people music. Do I remember distinctly as a child, like, what is that? Why we can't listen to it? What it is? You had to sneak and hide and you couldn't do that stuff. The FCC didn't even have it on the radio. Now everything is a free for all because all they want is a bunch of prisoners and dead bodies so that they can have organs. I looked at a YouTube show with my mama, and it's so sad. These people with melanin in other countries sell their organs to these rich white people so they can buy a washing machine or get a couple of $1,000s. We're nothing but parts to them, sweat and parts. We run their basketballs, we run their footballs. You don't hear no other black golfer. They love Tiger Woods long as he wasn't claiming to be black. When you got a black person on a hockey team, you hear how racist they are. Their racism is normal and we accept it. And then no parent is standing up and you wonder why your children and our children are not respecting them. How a black man, a black boy, our black boys' dads are in jail or in the grave. It's like right now to be black is either to carry a gun and kill somebody or to be buried. Because ain't nobody, and half our young boys ain't living past 30. They not even making it to 25. Now it's the young women. I'm just sorry. Where is the separation? When are we going to reject movies that are played by us because it's some white person imagination? I ain't looked at Wakanda. See how they just do stuff for money? They took the whole concept of Wakanda for what I heard and changed it. And anyway, I don't need to be praising an imaginary community. I need a real fucking community where we work together. See, I need a real community where we work together. I don't need a fake community for us to always have hope. All they feed us is damn hope. All we live off is hope. We look at a movie, yay, yay. We listen to music. All we do is live in the imagination of the people that control us. And we not living. The Woman King. Go look at any time we get ready to buy something or look at something, go look at who wrote it. Woman King. I love Viola Davis. I did not go watch The Woman King because I don't want to see a black woman play a part that some white woman wrote. That's a white woman's imagination you're looking at. Rap is a Jewish person's and white people imagination of how we should be treating and doing each other. All these movies are white and Jews and Asians and Chinese imagination of what we should be doing, and you wonder why we dying. It's time to put the blame where the blame belongs. And it's time to demand that they pour resources and money into our communities. Our communities are war zones. And as long as you keep saying it's not, your money is going to go to the Ukrainians, Jewish communities, Asian communities, Mexican communities, everybody. And the only thing that comes in our community is the money we bring. We are $1 trillion spending machine. Look it up. You don't hear that white people are $1 trillion spending machine. They're not making the money. We are the assets. We are the world's collateral. Kathy B said, I didn't watch it either. And there has never been a white woman king. Exactly. But they get to make up movies and then they trick us by putting black faces in it because now we don't want to watch movies with white women play Egyptian guys and stuff. So now they like, oh, okay, well, let me put the black face on it so we can still get the money, even though it's not being produced by black people. It's not being written by black people. It's white people's imagination. Again, I don't want to just make it, I want to put the blame because I was hurt this morning too with the young women that lost their lives. And I'm like, damn, every week I come home, somebody dead. And then I go in the hood because I'm from the hood. I go around and I'm like, don't nobody, I don't stay there that long. Everybody got a gun. When you got alcohol, guns, and bad music, rap music, and bad movies in the hood, that's a recipe for destruction. Somebody gonna die. That's why I stay out the way. Then everybody gonna get ready to give out Christmas turkeys and Thanksgiving turkeys and eat one day and then let the killing commence. Our kids shouldn't have to think about drug dealers. That boy, we don't know, the 14-year-old boy that shot, where's his parents, his daddy them? Who taught them? How old is his parents and daddy them? Probably not no more than 20 something themselves. Look at who's teaching each other. Let's admit, we not all good parents because we ain't had good parents. We ain't had nothing to learn to be good parents. We only got we try to treat our kids the way white people treat them, but white people can treat their kids a certain level because they're able to give them kids certain things. They're able to punish their kids a certain way. They're able to either show them different ways of lives. However, half of our kids never made it out the concrete walls. Half of our people might made it to the city, to the beach, and that's as far as they know about the world. They ain't even taste other foods or nothing. Yep, like Angie said, call that shit like it is because it's not just your neighborhood, it's everywhere. That's right. That's right. This is just happening here. Ain't no telling how many kids done died in Chicago, New York. We can look it up. That's why I had kind of stopped doing the news because it's like every day I can come up here and give y'all a horror story. And when we try to give solutions, nobody don't want to hear. They want to be entertained like the white people. We want to be entertained like them. I'm sorry, we worked and worked for other people. It's time to work for us. They want us to be entertained. They want us to entertain them with their shenanigans. No. But again, let's just send out positive energy, healing energy to the families that lost their loved ones. All these people had, they're not going to be here. It's like, what is wrong with us? How can we not see what's wrong? How can we not tell? And I'm watching everybody on Facebook in the community arguing with each other who to blame. Blame the parent, blame this. And I'm putting on everybody posts. Let's start blaming the government. Let's start blaming the parents. Yeah, let's blame the parents. It's the parents of the community, which is your commissioners, your governors, your lawyers, your mayors, your federal government that allows it. They don't put Medicaid in. Alabama is one of the states that did not take Medicaid because the black man Obama gave them something, but she took the money to build prisons. Get the money with Medicaid. I work for the Affordable Care Act. What it is that the government actually pays the insurance company for you. So I don't know what lie or what y'all thinking. I worked there for years. Sometimes I go back. I work for them. The open enrollment is still open this year. And what happened when these darn corporations seen that the government was paying, they raised their insurance prices up to thousands of dollars. They should be held accountable for that. They knew the government would pay, so they raised the prices. And most of the people who got the Affordable Care Act is the white people because they know what it's for. And then they come to y'all, oh, boo, Obamacare, boo. When I'm sitting here, every person that called is white getting $3,000 checks to go to their insurance companies. We keep acting like we don't need welfare. Welfare is what your government is. It's not even welfare. You pay in your taxes. You go to work. Your grandparents work. Your great-great-grandparents work. You probably don't even know your great-great-grandparents because of the Great Migration and all the stuff they have done to us. Your government, when you in a country, your government takes your birth certificate and they make money off of you and they owe you. But we don't know how to get it. We don't know how to force them to build us the schools we want. We don't know how to build our own police stations. We don't know because we're not educated. We're only educated to keep working and arguing and fighting and entertaining. It's so much to learn. It's tiresome. We need a safe space where we can just have a break. We never had a break. Not since slavery, not since after slavery. After slavery, it was it was more wars. Then the black codes, and then the black codes and fighting. I'm tired of fighting. Why should we have to fight something that should be right and common sense? It's like we can see who's ruling you. And then when Trump came in, he lined the Supreme Court up so that they can have the same. Why do they want more white people? Because they know most white people are going to have white views, white ideologies that's going to agree with other white people. And that way that you would never have a voice. The only way to have a voice is to walk away, shut it down. No music. All these black stars that keep on doing what they doing, they not helping us, but we go and they get money off of us. Every time you listen to their music, every time you wear a shirt, every time you buy something, Y'all be so proud to wear some damn CC on your nails and a Chanel purse and a Michael Kors and a Gucci and a Louis Vuitton. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with us? Red bottoms. I did a TikTok and I passed a video that I went and researched all those labels and showed you that all of these is a bunch of white people. They trick your mind to make you think it's the label you're buying when you're actually supporting a white family who don't give a fuck about you, who is not going to the government and saying, hey, take some of this money and help the Black community. What we trying to do was right. You got half of the people on YouTube and stuff trying to trick us. I've been tricked. I've been tricked by the whole Boys crew. That's why I stepped away from Fly Nubian Queen. I'm like, we ain't helping people. We making you rich. And we making your friends around you rich. When ain't none of nobody putting in millions of dollars to get us some clean community. I'm trying to buy a town. We've been asking to take donations. We trying to put in, it's going to take about 1,000 Black people or 1,000 of us or Black, white, whoever. If you want to see the Black community step up and you're not racist, then you would donate so that we can get somewhere and start working on ourselves. But long as we keep carrying on that the government helped us, so we just didn't take the help, then I'm not going to keep blaming us. We got to do something. We need safe places. We need a break where we don't have to work, but work to build our own towns. We need time to educate, and we need mental health in our communities. We need mental health. People who don't, there's some people that don't even want to be in these communities, but where else can they go? Because the world has made it where, oh, if you go to the white side, it's more expensive. It's saying you're not allowed there unless you're white without saying it. And then they're saying, because most of the high paying jobs are given to whites, Asians, and Jews. There's telling you something without telling you something, and we accept it. But I'm gonna get off of here because I think I done talked enough and I was already tired. Again, keep the families lifted in Dothan, Alabama, all over the world. All over the world. Those that lost parents, children, friends. Look at this Shaquilla. Our people is ignorant. I mean, that was the stupidest stuff. That the Shaquilla case just rocked me to the core. Like, they called us animals and now we're acting like it. They beating on the girl and she didn't even fight back, and we so used to standing around ready to record a fight. We want to be, that's what they used to do to us. We used to didn't do this. We used to, and I'm not gonna say all Black people got along because that's why we had different tribes. We had our wars, but everybody had their own communities. It wasn't one Black race, one Black group taken from another Black group, is what I'm saying. So I want us to think of revolution, but a revolution with a common sense. We're not all going to get along. And a lot of us is in our communities because some of our blood come from different tribes, and our tribes have been common enemies. But it doesn't mean we hated each other when we wiped each other off the face of the earth. You are so welcome, Queen. I love us. I feel like I was put here to give a message, and I'm gonna give the message that I give because I went through church, and then that voice kept telling me no. Because we have to have people like me and all of us that's in this chat to speak up, to do those things. Because it's just like I always say, it's like bacteria. A little speck of mold on a bread will spread. It might take a while for it to spread, but once you, well, let's be that mold in this white supremacy. It might take a long time for our stuff to spread, but it's gonna spread. Grand Rising, Pride of Bentley. I know that's right. Um, Darren Lewis 88 said, why does it seem like white history is mostly wars though? Because that's what they are built of. They were, if you look at the history of white supremacy when they were in England, they had so many prisons. They had prisons on boats because they ain't have nowhere else to put prisons on their land. Then when they took over America, they brought those prisoners here to help be our slave masters. So the worst of the white people were still considered a man and a woman, but the best of us is always considered an animal. So it's time to, that's why I don't believe in the FBA talking about tethers and all that. It takes all of us. Some of our foreign people are dumb, and some of our Black Americans is just stupid. But the ones of us that know that we need each other, that's the ones I'm talking to. The ones of us that can come together. The foreigners that come here and we can, y'all get help. Let's help build communities together. The ones that's Americans that's here tired, but let's build with each other and lead the rest of them out, because we're all not going to get along, and we're all not going to work together. Some people they just want their little life, and they want to keep skeeting by life long as it doesn't touch them, until oops, they wake up one day and realize they being profiled. Then they'll make a little big fuss, and then they'll go back to their comfortable lives while the rest of us is out here. So when we build our towns and we build our safe places, we need to start separating ourselves from the same old Black people who with the same old bullshit. Again, lift up our families and our communities and our loved ones and our grandmothers and our mothers and our fathers, our people in prison, our people who's hungry, our people who are cold this winter, our people who are still lost in the dark. Let's lift it up, and let's put out a spirit of understanding and a spirit of awareness. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed night.